Hello everyone, Chris McCarthy here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my FIA Formula 3 post-season testing reviews. Yes, we are back. Formula 3 back on track today as post-season testing began at Jerez, the first day of action, and with that comes lots of talking points, lots of speculation. We don't have any drivers signed on the grid next year, but we have a lot of talking points to discuss, and of course we got our first taste of who was quick in post-season testing, as a lot of fresh faces hit the track and a lot of drivers in different colours as well. I want to start by saying a very quick thanks to everyone for all your support this season. It's been a real privilege to commentate on the Formula 3 Championship this season and do as many races as I had, and to call Gabriele as champion and now see him at McLaren Junior is something I will definitely cherish for a very long time, and a privilege to work with all the people I did as well. So thank you for all your messages of support. They do really mean a lot. Okay, let's get into the test, shall we? I'm going to give you some stats and facts, and I'm going to go through the top 10 in a bit of detail. That'll be the format for this one. This will be a bit of a longer video from here on in. They will be shorter, and I'll be doing these at each of the tests. Okay, here we go. So, stats and facts then. Overall, 14 drivers who raced this season came to do this test. A little bit more than what I think I expected, but good to see a lot of drivers possibly will be sticking around. With that, we had vice champion from 2022 and F2 podium finisher, Zane Maloney, which created a lot of talking. 4 of the top 10 from this season were back, with Dino Beganovic as top seed after finishing 6th, and he was one of 4 drivers back with the same team. He was back with Prema, Luke Browning back with High Tech, Leo Fornaroli back with Trident, Tommy Smith back with VAR, Van Amersfoort Racing. That meant a lot of drivers changed teams, because as you can see, there were 14 drivers back, only 4 of them with the same team, so there was a lot of switching going on. It did mean, though, we had 15 rookies out there as well. 7 currently in FIA, 3 from Euro Formula Open, 2 from GB3, 1 from Euro Cup 3, 2 from F4, and 18 different nationalities represented as well, so plenty of countries being represented out there. Okay, I'll go through the top 10 and try to do so in some detail. Let's go with the quickest time of the day, shall we? Leading the charge out there and making an immediate statement on home soil was Campos Racing, and going quickest for them was Ugo Goethe, a returning face. Ugo Goethe did a fantastic job this year with Trident, taking a win for them at Silverstone, and he was back, albeit this time with Campos, and got them off the mark with a 1:30.814, a really good time actually, and a time significantly quicker than what we saw in the first day of testing last year. So Campos, who had a real championship charge with Pepe Marti this year, seem like they want to do similar things next year and have made an immediate statement with Ugo Goethe going quickest. However, just behind him, a team that will be desperate to win a title, having gone 2 seasons without one now, and that was Prer Racing, and with them a new driver in Gabriele. Not a completely new face to the team or to the championship. He's back seemingly for a second season. He, of course, was out racing this season as well. Did a really good job, did Gabriele, the Alpine Junior. And Prema is the team who he won the Italian F4 title with in 2020. We saw Gabriele taking wins and podiums this season as well, and made a big statement for the team today. Of course, it's been 2 seasons since they won. We saw Victor Martins winning 2 seasons ago. This season, now Victor Martins winning with ART. This season, Trident winning with Gabriele Bortoleto. Prema will be desperate to win, and Gabriele will want to get them some more silverware. Then we go back to Campos Racing, and in third, Boya. Really impressed with this one, actually. Mari's been showing really fine form in Euro Cup 3. Took a win at Estoril just last week, and he finished his season with a podium at Monza as well with MP Motorsport. So it's been a really strong second half of the year for Boya, actually, and with Campos Racing, a Spanish team, Spanish driver, seems to make a good combination in Formula 3 if we go off the record books. Third place for him today. Very impressed from what I saw there. Fourth place was Leonardo Fornaroli, one of 4 drivers back with the same team. The Trident driver was comfortably the quickest driver in that team as well. He's joined by Santiago Ramos and Sami Megatunov, 2 drivers who he knows from FRECA as well. It took those guys a little time to get going, but Leo, clearly the man who wants to follow in the footsteps of former teammate Gabriele Bortoletto, and he was in the top 5, top 6 all day. So great start for Leo. Also, right up there in the top 5 all day was Dino Beganovic for Prema, back with the team once more. 5th in the morning, 3rd in the afternoon, and there's already a great inter-team battle going on day 1 of post-season testing between him and Gabriele, and those two have fought before in the likes of FRECA, F4, karting, and if they are to be teammates next year, that alone is going to make for a fantastic battle. But what a lineup Prema brought with Arvid Lindblad in there as well. Then we had Zane Maloney in P6, and he helped Rodin Carlin to be the team of the day for me, actually. They were the only team that had all 3 cars in the top 10 in the combined classification. Of course, he's a podium finisher for them in Formula 2 this season. He was the vice champion with them in 2022. Why was he back? Well, for me, Carlin finished 10th and last this season with 2 points only. They need some experience in the car for the new drivers coming in, which for this test was Callum Voisin and Ugo Ugochukwu. And I think that's maybe what he was doing, bringing some experience, bringing that knowledge to the car. But as someone put to me on Twitter as well, maybe prepping for Macau at the same time, which comes up next month. But he helped do that. He led the charge for them, P6. Great to see the boy from Barbados back. Callum Voisin, arguably one of the standout performers, his Rodin Carlin teammate, a GB3 racer, so really has no experience racing in Europe, but he certainly settled in very quickly. He's leading that GB3 championship. He's a Autosport BRDC Young Driver of the Year finalist, along with Taylor Barnard, and straight away he was out of the blocks. And in that first session, he was 400ths of that an F2 podium finisher in Zane Maloney, so can't complain with that. And the driver of the day for me was Ugo Ugochukwu, with that performance he had in the morning, fighting for the Italian F4 title with the likes of Arvid Lindblad and Kasper Stuka, who I feel was missing from this test. I hope to see him at one of the others, and I was definitely not alone in my feelings there. But Ugo, a McLaren Junior, was absolutely fantastic this morning, finishing in P8 overall. He was within 1/10 of a second of Zane Maloney, and to jump out of an F4 car straight into an F3 car, which is a big jump, to not go through FRECA. He's not done any races in something like that before. To go straight in and get in the top 10 and be within 6/10 of the quickest time, 1/10 of an F2 podium finisher, that shows why McLaren have backed him and have done since he was in karting. I would be very excited to see the American coming up to F3 next year, and showed that he could be here to stay. Very good. But Carlin, very impressive. I hope this is a big step in the right direction for them, because they do not deserve to be down in 10th place in that team's championship. Finishing in 9th place was Sophia Florsch. I mean, what a story for her last year, getting PHM Racing by Jerez their first and what will be their only points. Goes down in history there, and also made history by becoming the first female to score points with that fantastic 17-place gain drive to finish 7th at Spa. She was back with Van Amersfoort this time, and P9 as well. She led the charge for Van Amersfoort. Noel Leon and Tommy Smith without there. She was comfortably ahead of those guys and did a superb job all day, up there in the top 10. And I really hope this is a sign that she's sticking around for another season, because she was in a car that was off the pace last year, and with a car that's on the pace in Van Amersfoort, this is proof, I think, that she could do big things. Charlie Wurz rounded out the top 10 as well. Great story. Jenzer, who had a fantastic season, P6 in the team's championship, in the top 10 today with Charlie Wurz, who was the Formula Regional Oceania champion this year, formerly known as Toyota Racing Series, has been racing FRECA, Euro Formula Open, been winning in the latter as well, having switched to that a bit later this season, and the confidence that's given him shown today. 10th in the morning, 8th in the afternoon. Superb drive, one of the drivers of the day. That pretty much wraps us up for this one. I'll skim through the others. Trident had Megatunif and Ramos out there as well, as I mentioned. Arvid Lindblad was out for Prema, 14th in the afternoon. Tim Tramnitz, Hadrian David, Emo Fittipaldi Jr. out for MP. The front two in the top 15 in the afternoon, but a bit of a quiet start to proceedings for MP. Campos also had Sebastian Montoya out there, who was 7th this afternoon. High-Tech Pulsate, Luke Browning, although they weren't in the top 10 in the combined, they had Luke Browning 2nd this afternoon. Martinius Stenchorn in and around the top 10, or on the fringes of the top 10 all day. Kean Shields was also out for them as well, 2nd in Euro Formula Open. Max Esterson was also out for Jenzer. You know, we saw him at Silverstone in Hungary. Matthias Sagazeta, a Freca racer, Euro Formula Open champion. Noel Leon was out with Van Amersfoort. 80 laps, he was the busiest driver out there. Tommy Smith was out there as well. ART struggled this season. They got an exciting lineup, I feel. Lawrence Van Hoopen was out there for them. Very impressive today, actually. Just missed out on the top 10 overall. Ollie Gray looked sharp as well, 13th this morning. And Christian Mansell, 12th this afternoon. Great signing if he's to be there for the season. And then PHM Racing, their very first day on track as a team. Taylor Barnard, 17th for them in the morning. They also have Tassana Ball, Intrafuva Zak, and Josh Dufek as well. Yet to see those guys in the top 20, but I think that's only a matter of time, particularly for Dufek, who we saw at Monza. That wraps it up for the first day. I'll be back for another video tomorrow, and then these will continue for the other tests. But thank you very much for watching the first video. Do give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment on your thoughts, and I will reply to you, and maybe we can get a bit of a discussion going. But thank you very much for watching and for your support, and we will see you tomorrow for day 2.